Hi, folks. Welcome to Editing Academy. I'm Darryl.
I'm Laura.
And this one is a special episode. This is our top 20, Darryl's top 20. Is this 15 or 14?
I think it's 14.
Okay, number 14. We're going to say that, and I'll correct it if it's not. The movie, which not a lot of people know, but I think is just wonderful, called Mr. Right. So, Mr. Right is a 2015, it's technically billed as a romantic comedy.
I think that fits.
It's directed by Paco Cabezas, written by Max Landis, starring an ensemble cast, Sam Rockwell, Anna Kendrick, Tim Roth, James Ranson, Anson Mount, Michael Eklund, and RZA from Wu-Tang Clan. It was not nominated for any major awards. A couple Teen Choice Awards, did not win anything. Alright, so that's the background. This is my kind of romantic comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love this movie. It is just so incredibly fun, but it only works for me because of the two principals. They are awesome together in this movie. I personally think they play incredibly well off each other. Anna Kendrick's character is like Anna Kendrick at her absolute best. She is charming, she's fun, she plays not ditzy, but unaware sometimes, and she does all of that excellence, which her character, it's necessary for her to be able to navigate this world that she steps into. And I will watch Sam Rockwell in anything, anytime, ever. That guy is amazing. And plus it stars Tim Roth, one of my favorite actors. This is 100% kind of comfort movie for me. A lot of your movies have been comfort movies.
Yes.
Most of mine have not been necessarily comfort movies. This one 100% is. It's also kind of an indecisive movie. What I mean by that is that it's a movie that I will watch if I'm in the mood to watch something and just enjoy, and I don't know what I want to watch. Like, do I take a chance on something that I haven't seen but I've been told is pretty good? Do I revisit something that I haven't seen in a while that I'd like to get again? If I'm ever like, I don't know what to watch, I'll put this on. It's just one of those. I watched this one over and over again, principally just to watch the two of these characters interact with each other and navigate throughout the story. Because we'll admit right away, this is an odd story. I mean, It is 100% a movie story. I doubt, and I wouldn't, well, I don't know, but I would doubt that this would actually exist in the real
Probably not
world.
terribly realistic.
Yes.
I think that's fair.
Anything with Sam Rockwell, totally worth your time, as I mentioned. Everybody in the cast is almost perfect. The brother who is the psycho brother who is the cause of a lot of things, he's a little weak. I think he's the weakest performance in this entire movie. But everybody else is
Not the one that's behind the desk.
No,
because the
no,
one
no.
behind the desk I love.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
awesome. He has fame now for doing Star Trek series, and he's great in that.
Chris Pike.
But the brother whose name is escaping me right now, he's just a little too over the top-ish for me. But he's fine. He's just not at the same level as everybody else in this movie. This is not a predictable movie. If you do not know what this movie is about going in, you are not expecting what this movie is at all.
Fair.
Sam Rockwell's character, and we'll just admit again, spoilers all over the place, he's a hitman, formerly of the CIA, who has changed.
Major spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, I just said that.
Okay, I know. I just needed to say it again. Okay, sorry.
Who has changed his tune and decided he doesn't like killing anymore, so he's just going to go and kill the people that hire him to kill. Interesting. Anna's character recently been through a very bad breakup in kind of a odd spot, we'll call it vulnerable spots possibly, when she meets him, and he is super charming.
Super charming.
They go on a fantastic, lovely date, and he is 100% honest in everything he says at all times, and she just thinks he's joking. Like, I'll be right back. I just had to kill a guy in the parking lot. She's like, I hate when that happens. That play in the initial works beautifully for comedic effect, but also it lends to the strength of both of these people as actors. And then once the reveal happens, the movie does take a turn, but is still able to maintain everything that the prior parts set up. Not a lot of movies can do that when there's like a big reveal of something or a character understands fully what has happened, even if the audience has. When a character does, sometimes the movie turns. This one doesn't. In fact, I think it gets better after that because they don't have to play anymore. And the only real thing is, for about 20 minutes, is she still liking this guy? Is it okay that he's actually out there killing people? Turns out it's fine because he's killing bad people, and that's totally okay. Again, the chemistry between these two is perfect. Sam Rockwell, notoriously known for dancing in every single movie he's ever in, always does dancing, except for one, See How They Run, which came out a couple of years ago. Doesn't dance in that one, surprisingly.
Interesting. I didn't notice that. Okay.
The chemistry is great. About 90% is perfect. The 10% that is not perfect between the two of them actually plays, I think, into the film itself, because then it gets a little awkward. But it's awkward where it needs to be awkward.
Where do you think it doesn't work?
When she understands what he is, and he's trying desperately to have her understand that it's
like
okay.
in the car. Okay.
Yeah, there's just some moments where it's. And I understand that it's kind of more the intent of it, but the chemistry is not 100% in those scenes. But that's fine. Again, it plays into it's not supposed to be
exactly.
as much. I'm almost done. This is an example to me of a perfectly well executed, which a lot of movies do, the what if premise. What if there was a serial killer who decided, or not serial killer, but a contract killer who decided he didn't want to kill anymore, is only going to kill bad people, but he finds somebody that he really, really likes, and he's going to be honest with her. And what if that girl was going through some difficult time in her life and really did connect with somebody, but that person was killing people? How would that play out? And then we see it.
This is how that plays out.
Yes. That's all I have right now. Feel free.
All right, so as you know, I have never seen that movie before, which is kind of surprising because I love all of the actors, romantic comedy.
It flew way under the radar.
Okay, so totally in my jam. So I borrowed the DVD from you, and oh my god, I loved it. It was fantastic. It was 1,000% my jam. So it was the chemistry, it was the lines, the throwaway lines, the deadpan delivery of some of those lines. I agree with you too that this probably only worked with these two actors.
Yeah.
Because Sam Rockwell, charming chemistry, has chemistry with Cough Drop.
Yes.
I mean, like, he is just a good, great foil. But also, this character was, like, Anna Kendrick brought all of the great things you have seen from her in all of her great performances.
Yes.
And it's like it all culminated in this character. Again, the quirky is the word I keep coming up with, but, you talk about, he meets her and this all kind of just happens. But we start with meeting her as a child, at the very beginning of the movie, and she's an odd little duck, even as a child. And so you see that she has turned into somebody strange. Her roommate knows that she is odd, and so I like the fact that she's already kind of on the oddness spectrum, and so the fact that she meets this guy, she likes him, she finds out what he does for a living, and it bothers her a little, but not as much as you probably should.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because they've set up the fact that she is, she's got her own little foibles. And the chemistry, phenomenal. Where I knew I was going to love this movie was pretty early on with Tim Roth, when he is setting up a scene.
I know exactly.
So he's in a van, and he's got this whole gang of people who are going to go in and try to kill Sam Rockwell. And they're like all pumped and ready to go and rah-rah. And Tim then decides to stay in the van because he's like, yeah, you guys are not serious. You're going to get killed. I'm sorry. And they're like, no, we're going to take him. And they're all buffed up professionals, many, many guns.
Yeah.
And then they go into this ballroom, and one by one, they all get killed. And I laughed out loud when the woman in the team basically gets killed, and Tim Roth is like checking them off of a whiteboard as they get killed, and he's like, oh, shame, I liked her, and checks her off, and it was just like, oh, this is going to be fantastic. So that was the scene that I particularly liked.
That scene is beautifully executed. It is, I mean, people are dying, but it's so funny.
So funny.
My favorite line in that one is when the two of the mercenaries are talking with each other, and they're screaming, he's behind the cake, he's behind the cake, and they cut to Tim Roth's character, well, if he's behind the cake, then he has a knife, and then it just cuts to the knife going right into somebody's skull.
Yep.
And I was like, perfect.
I love
Perfect.
that. I loved that too. And then, you know, again, Anna Kendrick, when, you know, so Sam Rockwell now has told her the truth.
Yep.
She's talked to who she believes to be the FBI, but it's actually Tim Roth in disguise. And so Sam Rockwell then knocks out Tim Roth, drags him into kind of drags him into her apartment because he wants to have a chat with her and explain and get back together.
Because all guys, we feel that if we can just talk to you, you'll understand.
Exactly. And so Anna's like looking at Tim Roth and said, "Is he dead?" And he's like, "Oh, no, he's just, I just knocked him unconscious." Because again, he is wildly truthful with everything that he says. And literally totally deadpan, she's like, "I think we should take a break." And that again, I busted out laughing because her delivery of it, and yet you can tell she still likes this dude. And boy, I understand, she's just trying to decide with herself, how much of this can I take? And then the other piece was my favorite, which is when they reconciled at the end of the movie after she has turned into a killer because, you know, at first she was trying to protect herself, and then she was just like, these are bad dudes and need to die.
Yep.
And I have the inherent skills that somehow something in Sam Rockwell saw something in me, and they have this little tiny black spot in their hearts that meet each other, and I think that we must also have little tiny black spots in our heart because we find this hilariously funny, terribly romantic, and like you said, well executed.
I killed him in the face.
Exactly. You don't have to bang him, I banged him. I'm like so cheery about it.
A couple other things that I do like about this. I've mentioned this a couple other times on this podcast. I'm a sucker for any film that 100% knows what it is and does not shy away in any way, shape, or form, doesn't try to be anything else. This movie does not try to be anything but exactly what it is.
Yep.
And because of that, it is able to hit all of those notes perfectly. The other thing I want to talk about is RZA, Steve.
Oh, loved him. He was great.
He's obviously comic relief in the movie, but he does it so well, and it's not deadpan, or he's not like tongue in cheek, like hamming up to the camera.
No.
He just knows exactly how to present this character who is stuck in a situation that he doesn't want to be in. He's doing it for the money and always is getting the short end of the stick.
Yep.
And it goes through all of these highs and lows of wanting to kill Sam, recognizing he really likes Sam.
Yep.
Sam's a good dude, but I still have to kill him.
Yeah.
And then eventually, no.
I'm not going to. He's just super low key the whole movie, which I loved.
100% stoned, I'm sure, but
Probably, but yeah, and I knew who he was, and I had never seen, and I don't know if he's done any other acting.
Yes.
So, but I'm like, oh, that's good. He is very, very well done. This is truly a dark comedy.
Yes.
It's got both of those elements in there,
Yeah.
and really amusing. And I thought Anna's roommate was really funny too.
the
she's
acceptance that she has of her roommate's crazy is 100% perfect.
Yep, exactly.
She's arguing with this. I've been here, like when she's in the closet, I've been here before. I know how this goes. If I argue with her, this is going to get worse. I'm just going to accept it and we're going to move on.
Yep, exactly.
I had read, and I don't know this is true, and if you're watching, please let us know, that this movie was one that kind of was able to catapult her into the different roles that she went on to.
Oh, really?
Because before she'd done like the Pitch Perfects and things.
Yeah.
And I don't know 100% her film trajectory, but I had heard that this one was one that, because of this role, she was able to expand into other roles after.
Excellent.
Because she does show range that she did not have in, or you didn't see anyway, in previous movies.
I don't know where this is in her filmography either, but you can just see all of the things that make her a great performer.
Yeah.
Nope, I agree, loved it, and appreciate you bringing it into my world. It was great.
I'm so happy.
I can see this being comfort food for me too. Totally.
I'm so happy you enjoyed it.
Yep.
All right, hopefully you will as well. That is why I love Mr. Right, and
As do
apparently
I.
she does as well.
I do.
See ya.
Bye.